Welcome to the Psychic Pastry Chef, where two unlikely worlds merge. Here in these videos, I'm going to show you how to make great cakes, desserts, and pastries you can make at home and impress your family and friends. And I'm going to give you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for each sign of the zodiac. Here in today's video, we're going to make pumpkin creme brulee. So if you have any desire to change up what you're doing for your Thanksgiving dinner, or you're asked to bring along some special dessert or something to someone else's dinner, you could make these pumpkin creme brulee and be a big hit. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Okay, first I'm going to tell you the ingredients you're going to need. So you might want to grab a pen and paper, or you can always go back and look at these amounts later on. So first you're going to need 3 cups of heavy cream. And in this same container, I've added 1 cup of half and half. So that's 3 cups of heavy cream and 1 cup of half and half. In this spices mixture, I have a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, a pinch of cardamom, and then you're also going to need 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree, and 1 cup of white granulated sugar, and 8 egg yolks. And then to caramelize the tops of the creme brulee, I'm using, this is raw sugar, coarsely ground raw sugar. And you can use a little kitchen blowtorch if you have one. If you don't, when you want to brown the tops of the pumpkin creme brulee, you can just stick it under your broiler. So now I'm going to start putting this together. So the other thing I have going here is I'm bringing some water to a boil, because when you pour the creme brulee into the cups, you're going to want to add the boiling water when you put it in the oven to bake. So the first thing you want to do is get your oven at 300 degrees and get some water boiling on your stove. Get your ramekins ready for the creme brulee mixture. Or if you don't want to do them in individual ramekins, you can use one individual container oven-proof dish to make it, and you can serve it family style out of one dish. So that's completely up to you. So first step is to put in this saucepan the cream, the half and half, and the spices over medium heat until it boils, and then you're going to want to let it sit off to the side and for about 15 minutes and let the spices infuse into the cream. Aries, I pick up that you're going to be looking over some different prospects and projects, maybe business opportunities or offers over the course of the next 9 months to a year. And there could be some kind of litigation that you have to look into. You could be having a court case come up. It could be someone close to you. It doesn't necessarily mean it is you. But for some of you, Aries, you may have that going on. Or at the very least, dealing with legal documents and papers. So also to this mixture, I'm going to add the 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Taurus, I feel like you're going to be getting wise to something that's going on around you. Like somebody that maybe has been withholding news or information from you. Now I'm putting this on medium heat. So you need to be careful and be skeptical about anything that comes up for you that gets presented to you by people that if you get that gut feeling like something doesn't sit right with you, or you feel a little like, what's going on here? Pay attention to that, Taurus. And some of you Tauruses may really need some help in sorting things out. Could have to do with business, work, or an estate, or some paperwork. Okay, so now I'm going to put in this bowl the yolks and the white granulated sugar. There are 8 egg yolks in this recipe. If I did not say that, I don't think I mentioned that. 8 egg yolks. And now you're going to want to add the sugar. So you really want to mix it really well, because what's going to happen is when this comes to a boil, you have to keep your eye on it too, because cream can boil really fast and it can boil over and make a big mess on your stove. Usually in creme brulee, you really want to bring it to scalding first. But in this recipe, I do want to bring it actually to the boil, because you have to let it sit and let the cream infuse the spices. So, all right, I have my water boiling over here, so I'm going to shut that off for now. And you do want to occasionally stir this cream. You don't have to constantly, but keep your eye on it, and I would stir it. So, Gemini, you're going to be hearing from somebody that you haven't heard from for a while. It could be like a friend from long ago. It could be an ex-love, or somebody you just, a relative, somebody you've lost touch with. I feel like you're going to hear from somebody from long ago. And I feel like not even just hearing from them, I feel like you're going to ask them to get together. They may be asking you that, or you're asking them that. And this will be good because it's actually going to lead to something else. Like you could either hang out more, or if it's possible, you could have a romantic interest with them. It may reignite, that kind of thing comes up here for Geminis. Okay, now the cream has come to a boil. And now I'm going to let this infuse for 15 minutes. Okay, now that the cream has had a chance to infuse with the spices, I'm going to gradually add the cream. Cancer, you're going to have somebody new that comes into your life. This could be a love. It could be a child, could be being born into your family or being adopted into your family. It could be a new pet. But I get like somebody new is going to come into your life that you're going to be spending time with. Some of you, this is love because well, let me just put it this way. Whoever it is, the both of you are going to be quite smitten with each other. And I do feel that in the latter part of 2020, could even be, I don't feel it's 2019, although it could be for some of you because we're all on different timelines because we all don't have the same birth charts. I pick up travel for you. So I feel some of you will be traveling at the end of this year, but if not, then it's going to be in 2020. And Leo, Leos are going to start some kind of business or start something new with their business. If you already have a business, something new is getting added and started. If you don't have a business yet, don't be surprised, Leo, if that was a thought that you wanted to have. I feel some of you will step out and do it. And a lot of Leos are going through changes emotionally. So now that this cream is all the way incorporated, now to add the pumpkin puree. And I do feel Leos kind of need to stabilize, like maybe stabilize your emotions, but it could also be stabilizing something, stabilizing your property or your money or emotions for Leos. All right, so now I've added the 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree. All right, so now that's incorporated here. And as far as I've added cardamom to this recipe, if you don't want to add it, you don't have to. And you can always alter and change the level of the spices in this recipe. You don't have to keep it to the amounts that I have here. Cardamom is very good in baking and tends to go along well with cinnamon. So that's why I've added it. So now I'm going to pour it into the ramekins. Now I believe this is going to make 10, but it may actually make 12. So right now I've started with 10. You could always cut this in half. So I'm just stirring it a little bit to try to get some of the foaminess, cut some of the foaminess down. Virgos, you're going to be surprised by something someone is going to say to you. Something unexpected is coming to you from someone. And it's going to make you wonder or question something you're doing, or it's going to make you question what this person is up to and doing. Could go either way. And some of you Virgos may actually feel like you need additional training, classes, or education in something. Could be, you may say, well, what do you mean? I already am working. I don't need to, get more education or training. But it could be you find out like, hey, I need to know more about this new program in my computer, or something you can add to what you're doing or enhance what you're doing. I feel some of you are going to take some kind of classes or study. I feel this is going to happen for most of you Virgos over the course of the next 7 months. And I'm recording this towards the end of the month of October 2019. I'm trying to bring the custard kind of up to the top, close to the top, because when you put the sugar on it and you're going to stick it under the broiler, or if you have a kitchen torch, it's nice to have it kind of close. Maybe I'm filling them up a little too much, but you can do it however you want. I feel like Libras are going to be really digging in deep to find out information about something. And I'm not sure what it's to do with, but I feel like you need to access like documents, paperwork, could have to do with wills, estates, settlements, lawsuits, divorce settlements, sales of homes, looking into also troubleshooting things comes up. So if you feel like things were not handled properly, or if you're working, if you have your own business or something at your work or job doesn't seem like it's right, you may be looking into things to troubleshoot as well. So I think I have enough for 2 more. Scorpio, I see any dreams or illusions you had about anyone kind of gets shattered. Like a bubble gets burst for you about someone. I hate to say that because I don't want to give negative messages, but you may have thought somebody was like super generous or the greatest person in the world, or, fantastic. And I feel that something's going to come up where you're going to find out they're not who you had thought they were. I feel like your bubble gets bursted a little bit. I do feel like Scorpios, whatever comes your way, you're going to really have a lot of friends around you to support you. Like want to take you out, want to have a good time. That kind of energy comes up here for you. And I feel that Scorpio, you're also going to be making some good money. You may find yourself in 2020 making more money than you have in previous years. Like I feel 2020 to me feels like a good money year for Scorpios. So I'm just trying to level this out. Some of these are a little full. All right. So now, next step is, so I've boiled this water and I'm going to put it in using a 1 cup measure at a time. I'm using plastic, so instead of metal, you don't want your hands to get burned or to get hot. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to add the water that I boiled. Sagittarius, I feel like you're going to be making a lot of new friends. I get new friends, and even if they're not new friends, I feel like you're going to be a lot more social and having interesting discussions with friends and family members come up. And I see Sagittarians taking a big leap of faith about something. All right, so now you want this to bake in the oven for about 40 to 45 minutes. So after that, we'll come back and I'll show you how to finish the pumpkin creme brulee. Okay, now the pumpkin creme brulee is finished. It made 12. I let them cool for 15 minutes before putting them in the refrigerator for 1 hour. You could wait up to 2 hours, but really only 1 hour was necessary. Now, best to caramelize these at the end before you want to serve them. I wouldn't caramelize them and then put them back in the refrigerator, because then the sugar is going to melt and turn into liquid on top of your creme brulee. So you only want to caramelize them at the very end. Now, I'm using this kitchen blowtorch. You don't have to use that if you don't have one. You can put the sugar on and put them under your broiler, which is what I did when I made creme brulee on a previous episode of the Psychic Pastry Chef. So if you want to look back, I'm not sure whether it was on my Vimeo videos. I think it might have been a Vimeo video for the Psychic Pastry Chef where I did creme brulee. Those were, the sugar was caramelized under the broiler because I didn't have butane for my torch. So now I'm going to sprinkle the sugar on the top, and I'm only going to do 4 because it's just 3 of us here in the house, and so I'm going to do 4 so you can see. I don't need to do this one. And then I'm going to give it a try and see what I think. Okay, so I'm going to, while I'm sprinkling the sugar, and again, this is Demerara sugar. You can use raw sugar, but this has a more coarse grain, and it's going to have a little bit more of a molassesy flavor to it, which is perfect for the pumpkin creme brulee. So I'm using this, maybe this is covering it well. You want to coat it well. Capricorns need to be prepared because there's a lot of changes coming up for them in 2020. You may want to take out a loan or start seriously looking into investments like bonds, stocks, or property you could invest in. Because getting really secure and situated with your finances in 2020 comes up. And I feel like many of you are going to have some breakthroughs in your finances, actually, in a good way, the Capricorns. And Aquarians need to not lose hope. Something you've been waiting for, or something you've been troubled about, or waiting for, one of the two. It's like the angels come in at the last minute, just in the nick of time, and bring you whatever this has been an issue for you that you've been like kind of hanging on the edge of your seat waiting for. This could especially be strong for you Aquarians in the months of June, July, and August of 2020. And many of you Aquarians are going to be finding ways to recycle old things. They could be, you could be redoing furniture or repurposing other things and making making something new out of things that were old. Okay, so now that's that. So now I'm going to caramelize them. Pisces, you've got some new project that's going to really take off for you. It could be a creative project or a business plan or project. And I feel that you're going to start incorporating a lot of things into this project. Maybe different aspects of things you know how to do, or different components. Oh, that got really creme bruleed there. And some Pisces may also be thinking about starting to enhance their appearance. You may get plastic surgery, get a makeover, get new wardrobe, getting a bit more fit, maybe lifting weights or physical exercise. But it definitely feels like Pisces are going to have this energy going into the end of 2019, going into 2020 of like reinventing yourself in some way. Could be your job, could be your appearance, but there's like reinvention. Could be a career, maybe you're changing your mind about your career, but some sort of reinvention comes up for Pisces. So, like I said, you can put this under the broiler if you don't have a little torch. Also, the other thing you could do is if you didn't want to use this kind of sugar, you could use brown sugar. Would be really good with the pumpkin creme brulee as well. And like I said, you know, a lot of people love creme brulee. It's very, very popular. And if you're just getting tired of the usual pumpkin desserts at the holidays and you want to, you know, switch it up or change it up, you can, you know, try this. Or, I'm not saying don't make your traditional pumpkin pie or, you know, whatever, but, you know, a lot of people like pumpkin cheesecake. Now, for many years, that's been a hot item at holiday time, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and other holidays. So you could throw this into the mix, something else that involves pumpkin. So that looks pretty good. All right. Now, if you really want to dress this up, you could put a dollop of whipped cream on the top and maybe dust it with a little bit of powdered sugar if you wish, or you can just serve it like that. I'm not going to do the whipped cream today. So there you have the pumpkin creme brulee. So now I'm going to try this and we'll see. What do I think of the pumpkin creme brulee? So I'll take this one. Oh, that's really, really good. Excellent. Now, in the essence of time, I let these set an hour. You could let them set 2 hours is really what's supposed to be. But it's very creamy. This is nice and caramelized. The torch did a great job. So I hope you enjoy this dessert. And I hope you enjoyed the psychic predictions in this video. And if you would like to get more psychic predictions and messages from me, you can click on the links below this video in the description box in the Show More section, where my other videos on Vimeo are listed for more desserts, cakes, and pastries, and psychic predictions. Some are based on categories of love, finance, and romance, or whatever the topic is, or just general predictions. So for more recipes and more predictions, click on those links below. So make sure you're following your passions in life, and that way you'll know you're on your true path. Until next time. Thanks for watching The Psychic Pastry Chef. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in getting any of the special videos I've recorded for my Psychic Pastry Chef Vimeo On Demand channel with more recipes and psychic predictions for 2018 for each sign of the zodiac, you can access these videos for purchase by clicking on the link below this video, or you can go to my website, www.thepsychicpastrychef.com, and click on the Videos tab on my menu. If you're interested in scheduling a private psychic reading with me, or purchasing any of the special videos that I record monthly for each sign of the zodiac for my Lucky Mermaid Vimeo On Demand channel, you can access those videos for purchase by clicking on the Videos tab on my menu at www.theluckymermaid.com and go to my order page online scheduling calendar for booking new appointments, which reopens every 4 to 5 months. See you next month.